Rita and Samika. This morning, though, we're dealing with some warm, humid conditions. Tuesday is off to a cloudy start. This morning, temperatures have only dropped into the upper 70s. Yesterday, pretty much status quo. Yesterday's overnight low only dropped to 78, breaking a new morning low record, meaning that the temperature readings was just so extremely warm yesterday, and we're headed in that same direction this afternoon. Now, the rain chances for today, less than 20%, 40% chance tomorrow during the afternoon and evening hours is when we anticipate those showers to develop, and it is going to be peaking on Friday with that coverage at 80%, eventually dropping off as we head into the weekend. A new severe thunderstorm watch is in place for the northern parts of our state, southern fringes of Oklahoma. That is along a cold front. That cold front stays to our north today, but that front eventually pushing in tomorrow will be the focus point of some wet weather, and you can see for now we've got a nice mix of sun and clouds. More clouds and sunshine with temperatures going from the upper 70s this morning to the lower 90s. And yes, we're back up when it comes to the feels like temperatures. We're nearing 100 degrees. We'll talk about the cool down timeout, those storm chances for you coming up in just a few minutes, ladies. Rain chance at 40%. The rain chance for tomorrow actually may have to go up, especially in our northern counties where a lot of that activity may begin during the early part of the afternoon and then shift closer toward Houston as we get closer toward the closing bell around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and for that evening commute. And then it'll be more scattered on Thursday. It really starts to increase that coverage by Friday as we get a lot of moisture coming in from the Pacific combining with that Gulf breeze. Today, we will see the storm track staying to our north. That's where a severe thunderstorm watch is in place this morning and will continue through the afternoon, portions of Oklahoma, but some of the heaviest of the rain right now is just to the east of where that boundary is currently. So once that front continues to slide southward, it's going to meet up with that Gulf breeze, and there's so much of that warm, humid air that the ingredients are going to become favorable for tornadic activity in this highlighted orange, a level 3 out of 5. Now for us, we're just outside of the severe weather threat for today. Our far northern counties could get clipped by a strong or even elevated thunderstorm late tonight. During the overnight hours, things calm, and then by Wednesday afternoon, that severe weather threat does go up for us, isolated in nature with some strong winds and perhaps even some hail. We'll be watching for any sort of twisting in the atmosphere, but for today, things should stay quiet. First thing Wednesday morning, let's time out that rain chance to help you plan your Wednesday, because most of the morning is going to be nice and quiet. During the afternoon, you're still good in Houston, but you look up to the north, and depending on whether or not that complex of storms forms will dictate whether or not we see any action here. So if that forms, we're going to be watching it as it continues to spread. It intensifies. You can see the boundary that it forms because it meets up with the sea breeze. And typically when you start to see these type of storms during the peak heating of the day, sometimes they can also lead to outflow boundaries. And when those outflow boundaries form, they can have some slower movement. So within a 3 to 4 hour period, we'll be watching between, let's say, 3 to 7 p.m. Although Future Track is showing one big band of heavy rain, we could see these mini little boundaries forming out ahead of it. So even though you may not see coverage in your counties based on Future Track, doesn't mean you're not going to see rain. So right now we've elevated that rain chance to 40%, but based on that model data, I'm probably going to have to push that storm chance, that coverage a little bit higher based on what I'm seeing between that 3 to 5 p.m. hour. And then as we get closer to 6 o'clock, a lot of this is going to be shifting off toward the east. We should stay quiet overnight. And then Thursday, it's a little bit more scattered. Friday is when the brunt of the moisture is going to be moving in our direction. A larger Pacific storm is going to be pushing a lot of this moisture in our direction during the afternoon, evening. Notice the steady flow of rain that we're going to see. I think we're going to see some of the highest rainfall totals Friday alone. And then by Saturday morning, the majority of that rain, that's going to be shifting over toward the coastline. It's not completely dry until we get to mid to late morning, afternoon hours. You've got evening plans on Saturday. It is a go. Cooler, drier conditions headed our way into the weekend. And then that measurable rain, again, anywhere between 1 to 3 inches with higher amounts north of Interstate 10. And you can see Wednesday and Thursday, the flood risk is elevated to a 1. But notice what happens on Friday with those heavier waves coming in. That's when we could see more scattered street flooding concerns for Friday. So my gut feeling is we're probably going to have to put Friday as a watch, maybe even an alert. Give us another day or later, so to really see what the models do. But Friday could be a watch day. All right, temperature readings in the 70s. Again, quiet today. Temperature readings in the low 90s. Those feels like temperatures triple digits by this afternoon. We felt it yesterday. We're going to get it again today. But that front not only brings us the showers of storms, it delivers a humidity drop just in time for the weekend. And along with that humidity drop, some cooler temperatures as well. Ladies, those highs on Saturday only into the low 70s, with those morning temperatures dropping into the 50s.